This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
I think I'm this smart. These are some questions Andrew had. He couldn't be on. But your bullpen, how's it shaping up, going into practice now? And we haven't heard much about Gage. We haven't talked much about him, I guess. Kind of how's he doing? What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, first off, the bullpen's shaping up fine. We have some really good arms. Obviously, they got to go out and do it in a real game. Bullpens have been great. We feel like we have a really good mix of left and right-handed pitching, which is, the right-handed pitching usually there. Having some options left-handed out of the pen is going to be a big-time plus for us this year. And as far as Gage Wood, I mean, he had a really good fall. And you'll see he's just really grown up, matured. He looks older.
Thinks it's an 8-iron.
He looks older. He's physically in tremendous shape, and I think you'll see a difference there. But as far as throwing the baseball, he's been better than he ever has been.
As far as some bullpen arms, are some names you could throw out for who you think is looking good right now?
Yeah, I could throw some out there for you. Let me see here. Let me look at my list. So basically, if you're looking for a left on left matchup, we have Stone Hewlett, who transferred in here from Kansas. That's what he does. He gets lefties out. I think freshman Colin Fisher is a guy that could be a starter or a reliever out of the pen, and Hunter Dietz could be a starter or a reliever. Obviously, we're going to have to wait just a little bit for him to get right. Parker Coyle, starter or reliever, really made a jump, so that's exciting. Tate McGuire, freshman. Gabe Gackle, freshman. McIntyre, Bobby could be a starter. Wood, Frank's back better than ever. Faraday is turned the corner. I think going out and playing in Cape Cod League and throwing the ball really well, except for maybe one game, has really helped him. And he's a guy that has super stuff, upper 90s all the time, kind of easy out of his hand, throwing a breaking ball for a strike, throwing fastball for a strike. I think Cooper Dawson has made a huge jump, made the team, going to be right there to help us. Christian Fouch, Dylan Carter, there you go.
And you mentioned Dietz. Well, what's his timeline for, I guess, getting back to practice, and then when he could maybe be game ready?
Well, he's already back to practice. He's doing all the drills. He's not throwing to hitters or anything yet, but they just went in there and took care of a problem that he brought with him, and we knew it was there. Had to make a decision after fall ball, because he showed his first few outings how good he was. At the end of fall, it wasn't the same. It was still good, but it wasn't nearly as good because it's pretty electric. And at first it was, I'll just wait till the end of the season. I really don't want to miss any. We're like, hey, we're fine with you missing. We want you the second half. That's what really matters anyway. And after realizing that this was going on as a sophomore, and then it really hit him again his senior year, talking with his parents and advisor, whoever else, and the doctor was like, yeah, let's just do this. And he was all about it. And he's way ahead of schedule. So I'd say, to answer your question, he'll be ready sometime probably to go full blast in April. Hopefully.
Okay. I got a couple more, but I'll turn it back to Oliver. Thanks.
Okay.
Mason?
Yeah, Coach, just after watching your team in the fall and having this break, what are some of the biggest things you'd like to accomplish before opening day with position battles or whatever it may be?
Yeah. So, just having Stovall back, man, he's been amazing. Fielding accuracy of his arm has been great. Getting him and Behava to play together, play catch together every day, get to know each other. That's one thing, because you just want the middle infielders to just kind of know what they're doing before it happens. And just getting that infield squared away. You know, we've got a little battle at first base with McLaughlin and Wagner. One hits left, one hits right. One can DH. Wagner can actually play some outfield if we needed him to as well. But that's something that is going to go. It's going to be ongoing, and it's a good thing. It's healthy competition amongst teammates. And then the outfield, you know, at third base, you know, you got Holt over there that he's spark plug gamer, good player, had a good fall. And then, you know, with Sprague Lott, who came in from Richmond, I mean, honestly, you know, he's maybe our best defender, just fielding the ball. I'm not saying he's the best shortstop, but as far as just fielding the ball at third and all positions combined, he's going to be an incredible utility guy, maybe an everyday starter. But you know, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing. The outfield, you know, we've got to get that. We've got to get that. Maybe left field is still up there. You know, we've been playing Jason Jones out there's late fall in the drill work. He's been working out there like 80% of his time, a little bit at third, you know, because if the bat gets going, it could really help us. And, you know, a lot of times left field, whether it's in summer ball or Division I baseball or the big leagues, about swinging the bat and being a good defender. You don't have to be overly special out there if you can hit enough. So that's up in the air with him and Edmondson and maybe Lovich. Lovich was someone who missed most fall practice. That's healthy now, left-handed hitter that transferred in from Missouri. We'll see how that plays out. And then Ty Wilmsmeyer in centers is our best defender. You know, you got Grimes battling and some other guys battling, but we'll just have to see how that all turns out. I think it'll be a work in progress. If it comes down to just defense, then it'll be Wilmsmeyer.
I think the only position you didn't hit there was catcher, and that was going to be my next question. Is, I mean, like, we know it's a crowded room. Are you wanting like an everyday guy, or kind of switching out, or figure it out early in the year, or what?
Yeah, I'm not all about not having an everyday guy. I think I want our players to know that when they walk through the door, they don't have to look at the lineup most of the time. I think it just makes for a better player, better situation. If you earn the job, you're the best catcher, you're the best hitter, the pitchers like throwing to you. There's a combination there. But we are very fortunate that we have Parker Rollenbach, who started for us last year. And yeah, he didn't hit much, but he caught extremely well, and he did a great job with our pitching staff. And then, you know, you've got Hudson White, who came in here from Texas Tech, that was splitting time back there with a younger player. And he has made a huge jump on the defensive end. He throws well, athletically. He could play other positions, and he was our best hitter in the fall. I mean, as far as just barreling up the ball and hitting the ball all over the field, tough out, taking walks, fouling off pitches. You know, he's going to be in the lineup, and it'd be hard to beat it out. And, you know, that's a good problem. Then, you know, freshman Ryder Helfrich is as talented a freshman catcher I've ever had. And I had James McCann in here that was pretty darn good. And I've had some good ones, but, you know, you think back of James, his first year, he was catch and throw. And then the bat came on. It really came out his junior year, and he probably led us in hitting, even with those terrible bats we had to use that year. But Ryder has a lot more bat potential this year. And if he keeps getting better with the bat, which I'm sure he will, arm strength, receiver, he was outstanding the first 5 weeks of fall baseball. The last week, not so good. And I don't know if he just kind of hit the wall or what happened, but he's kind of hard on himself, and he's a really good player, and he just needs to relax and play. But, you know, I mean, you got Hudson Polk that came out and hit in the fall and caught the ball better, and, you know, is a great guy, great team guy. We all feel like that one day he's going to coach at a high level, and for a long time, if that's what he wants to do. So, yeah, you know, you go from having two guys last year that didn't hit a whole lot, did a pretty good job behind the plate, to having guys that we got 4 guys. And, how do you let that happen as a coach? Well, first off, it's a good problem to have, but, you bring in a transfer guy because you think maybe you're going to lose your freshman catcher and then he doesn't sign. And, welcome to our world of professional baseball draft mid-July. I won't go into that tirade again, but it's an issue.
Tom, you there?
I'm here. I actually had the weather report coming up because I was going to ask you, does it look good to get outside tomorrow? And I'm sure you guys have been tracking this. Are you going to be able to get outside some this at the start?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yesterday, which was Wednesday, it was first time that we've been outside, and all we did was shoot fly balls and do pop-up communication. We stayed off the dirt for the most part. We didn't take any ground balls. Just try to see the ball in the air because we haven't done that. And then we were hoping the rain would get out of here early on Thursday today, and it's not happening. So we're going to let the field dry again. We have the tarp on, and we're going to be out there tomorrow. We're going to throw the first pitch at 2:00. Do some early work wherever we can, either on the field or in the indoor, and then come on over. Saturday, we're going to take Saturday off. Track has got the whole facility. They have that, I think, 3 or 4 times a year, and this just happens to be the weekend. So going to rain most of the morning and mid-afternoons, cool down. We'll use that as an off day, and then we'll go back at it on Sunday. We're going to throw the first pitch at 12 noon. And then we'll scrimmage again on Monday. If it in a perfect world, we go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, would have given them Monday off. But supposed to be in the 60s or warm on Monday, and next week looks great. So that's the plan right now.
Okay. Hey, your comment on Cody Frank was back better than ever. When did he get fully back? I mean, what's he looking like?
He looks 100% to me. Last year he got up a pitch or two here and there, 92. I think he might have touched 93. We don't expect him to pitch there. We didn't last year. I think he probably will end up getting there, but he's thrown a couple times live hitters in the indoor and pretty much sliced them up because that's what he does. He's different. He's got an incredible changeup with movement, works fast, field his position. He's not scared. I think he'll get a lot of innings for us if he stays healthy, and I don't know why he wouldn't, but I would say he's 100%. Now the velocity is not 100% yet, but I don't think anybody's is.
All right. Hey, my last thing is, other than Dietz, anybody else going to be dinged up or slowed to start the year?
Knock on wood, not yet, but we haven't started doing anything yet as far as competing, running the bases and doing those type of things. So I'm sure something will come down the road, but we're in good shape right now as far as injuries. So hopefully we can keep it that way.
Ellis?
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned Jason Jones and just how much upside he has and how much he could help. With so much power potential that you're having to replace from last year's outfield, how important is it for someone with some pop to emerge at that spot? Is that something you take into account that he might have another level to tap into this year?
Yeah, it's time. I think he's ready to go. As far as just all the outside noise, all the worries. I think we've had some really good conversations in my office and here and there, and Coach Thompson, and had good talks with him as well. It's just, time to play, have fun, enjoy it, enjoy the game, enjoy being on a team. Because when you do that, I think it starts to flow for you. Yeah, you put, everybody pulls for each other, and that's what I want. I want Jason to not worry about all the other things. Just play baseball. Don't worry about what somebody down south is saying or this guy's saying, or it's time to just play baseball and enjoy it. And that's probably the best way I can put it.
I think we've got a pretty good idea of who your top 3 starting pitchers might be. But that first weekend you play 4 games. I was just wondering, is that maybe a chance for one of your younger pitchers to get a spot to show what they can do in a starting role? And I guess you got a few weeks to make the decision. Is there a little bit of a competition for that spot now?
Yeah, I would say there is. When we scheduled, we thought in a perfect world, due to playing in the tournament the next weekend, if we could play on Monday or even play 4 through the weekend with a doubleheader if we have to due to weather. We'll see how that turns out. Skip 4 games in 4 starts, 4 different pitchers. Not play Tuesday gives us a chance to recover some of our bullpen more, maybe heading into that tournament. So, I mean, yeah, the guys are going to get to throw the next 3 weekends. And if somebody really jumps out there and it's easy for us, great. I think, one of the pitchers that's made a really big jump has been Bibee. He throws nothing but strikes for the most part now. Got a really good breaking ball. Now he's got a slider cutter, which he needed that other pitch. Got a good changeup. A little older. He's a guy that could take it. But then there's some of those freshmen as well. And you never know. Like I said, there might be another one of these guys jump out there before it's all said and done, heading into the opening weekend.
Matt.
This weekend specifically, what are you hoping to accomplish with your team? And over these last couple of weeks of instructional workouts, has there been anything that stood out to you?
Well, really, this weekend to me is all about getting live at bats on a baseball field with our pitchers going, running the bases, because, you're throwing to hitters inside. They're not running. They're just swinging. And, the pitchers obviously have an advantage inside. It's harder to hit inside in an area like that. Although our guys do a good job in there, but fortunately we've replaced the lights in there a year or so back, and it's great as far as the visibility compared to what it was, but it's still not outside. It's just a different feel. But yeah, really more than anything, just playing the game live at bats on the field for our hitters, playing baseball. That's probably the main thing, and then see if the pitchers can take it, what they've been doing inside, outside. Because again, you have elements, you have wind, you have different things. The mound feels different, and I don't know, gain a little confidence. The teams. I don't know if I'm going to load up a team yet or not. What I mean by that is if we were playing the next day, this group might be starting, and the guys know. I mean, these guys are pretty smart. They can figure it out real fast. Like, hey, I should be on that team, or why am I not on that team, or vice versa. So just playing baseball, and really the second weekend, the third weekend, we'll have to really start making some decisions. Then this first weekend, let's just see what happens.
You probably saw the College Baseball Hall of Fame announce they're going to be in Overland Park beginning next year. Given that you're from the area, I wonder what your thoughts are about that. And you guys recruit Kansas City so hard. Do you think it benefits youth baseball up there in any way?
Well, I think that going to Overland Park, obviously I'm really familiar with Kansas City area growing up there. It's a great area, number one. I just think it's a lot easier area to get to than Lubbock. And I think that the traffic, the attendance will be a lot better. And I think people will, be able to go out of their way a little bit on vacation, different things to go through there, the museum. And I think it's a great spot. Central part of the United States, booming area. And it is a baseball area. Many years ago, we used to always say that in Missouri and the Kansas City area, that St. Louis might have been a hot spot for baseball, and it's still really good. But we feel like Kansas City area, whether you're talking the Kansas side, Missouri side, north of the river or whatever, it's really, really come on over the last 15 years. And that's where we've gone and gotten a lot of our players. So I think it's definitely it'll bring a little attention to the area.
Jackson.
Yeah, Dave, every preseason poll that comes out right now, it feels like it comes with a picture of Hagen Smith. Just how has he been handling the hype that's come along with this junior season? Anything different, mentality, preparation wise, just knowing there's big expectations right now?
Yeah, he's handled it really well. There's been years where we've had guys that were projected high picks and they stressed out over it, maybe change their routine. We just tell our guys, just do what you do every day. Get up, eat, go to class, come into the place, come into our building, work. Don't worry about it. And it's easier said than done. But if you stick with your routine instead of thinking I got to sleep in, I'm going to miss class. It just all snowballs on you. Just do what you're supposed to do, and it'll all take care of itself. And Hagan, he's 20 years old, be 20 years old to the draft. He knows he's going to be a good draft. But if you talk to him, it's amazing. He just wants to win at the highest level as a team. And I think that's why the players love him so much, that he just works. I mean, not a big talker, but he's been a lot more verbal this year because he knows he's older and it's probably his time and he feels more comfortable in that role. But you can't outwork this guy, and his stuff has been amazing. I'm excited for him and his family, but I'm excited for our team because we have him on our team, and that's why he's, been put out there a lot.
And excuse me, I know Kendall hit leadoff for you guys, but you might want him in the middle of the order. You might not have an obvious leadoff guy right now. Who are some people that might be competing for that number one spot in the order?
Probably Peyton Stovall, maybe. If we started tomorrow, that's probably who I would hit lead off. He's been swinging the bat extremely well. He's got a good eye. He's a lot stronger than he was last year at this time, and really seen an improvement of him driving the ball the other way. We want Kendall anywhere from 2 to 5 in our order, I would say right now. And, it's not, maybe in the past, we've had more left-handed hitters in the lineup where we could go 4 or 5. Maybe this year it's 3. So I don't want to put 2 of them back to back, at least at the beginning. So if we go left in the top, we'll go right in the 2, and then probably, left to right, and then left to right. So just try to mix it up at least through the first 5 as best we can, so later on in the game, they're not getting 2 for 1, bringing in hot shot lefty to get us. So, I would say Stovall right now. And other than that, I don't know. Holt could hit lead off, a little energy to the top, but we've got guys that we feel like that are more middle of the order hitters.
Dudley.
Hey, Coach, obviously you talked a little bit about the polls. Talk to me about the respect it shows for your team to be put up there 2 and 3, having not played a game and all that, and just, what you think you have accomplished to be able to, for people to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we lost maybe 7 starters in the field again, just like we did the previous year and maybe the year before that. And we've been very fortunate that some of the young freshmen have developed into good sophomores, and now they're good juniors. Guys that maybe didn't play every day last year because of injury. I think about McLaughlin, and that have come in and really made a jump. And our pitching staff, the young guys have gotten better. We plugged in a portal guy here and there, starter, reliever, and then position player wise through the portal, we've gone and gotten a few guys that looks like they're going to be good players for us. And I just think that the polls reflect that a little bit, that they feel like that our pitching is good and it's deep, and there's a lot of potential there with the offense. Who's to say how that's going to turn out, but it's kind of been the same the last couple of years, and then maybe took a step forward this year with returning some really good pitchers and bringing in some really good young freshman pitchers that I truly believe are going to help us this year. And I mentioned a few of their names. I didn't say their roles, but talked about the bullpen a little bit. But these guys they're going to be starters here one day, and maybe a couple of them this year.
Also, you like having that 4-game series to start off before y'all head to Texas?
Yeah, I do. Like I mentioned earlier, I just feel like that, it might wear everybody down a little bit. We hope it can go one day at a time or one game if we have to play a doubleheader. I mean, we could honestly, if we see the weather's great on opening day and then Monday's not looking good at all, we could schedule a doubleheader opening day. I mean, we can always make an adjustment if Saturday and Sunday aren't looking great, but we feel like we're going to have to fight to get one in. It just gives us that option, and it gives more pitchers an opportunity to play. Maybe another catcher gets in there, position player here and there. So it's, hopefully we get to that weekend. It's good weather or good enough to play games.
Thanks.
Daniel. Daniel, you hear me?
Oh, hi. Coach, just one kind of little bit out of left field with practice starting. I mean, I'm just wondering, all those years ago, I'm working on a piece about the 80s McClellan teams. Just kind of what were your kind of, as a player, your feelings whenever a season like this started again and the first day of practice?
So we're going back to the 80s. All right.
Yes.
You see here. So the 80s reminds me of now a little bit with the mustaches and the long hair. We had turf at the ballpark. So, and it was freezing there because nothing surrounded it. If it was windy, and it usually was out of the north, it was pretty rough. But we were all excited to play baseball. I don't know if we had the rules like we do now. I think we could get it going pretty much when we got back to school. They could even bring you in early back then, and you could just start practicing. It's a little different now. It's limited hours up until tomorrow. And then you get so many hours a week. But yeah, I think it's not like it's, maybe the feeling of spring training, because I don't know. It's not that feeling. It's college baseball. We know that we're all starting in 3 weeks, and there's a lot of excitement.
And then I guess, what are your kind of earliest memories of Coach Butler at McClellan and things of that nature?
At McLennan, when I played there?
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I played there as a freshman and a sophomore. We had 2 really good teams, been to the Junior College World Series both years. A little different feeling when you're a true freshman, just first college game. You don't know how it's going to go. And I was a starter on a team that was loaded with sophomores. So that was a little bit of stress for me, but it went well. And Coach Butler was an outstanding coach. Dub Kilgo was our assistant. He was an outstanding coach, and we won a lot of games. But yeah, I know as a true freshman, I'm sure our guys feel the same way now. A lot of unknowns, a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement. In some cases, probably the freshmen, am I going to get to play much? So we just tell those guys to stay strong, keep working. When your name's called, be ready to go.
And then you've had McClellan guys over the years on your roster. Just kind of any sentimental value there all these years removed?
I would say, a little conversation off the field about living in Waco and playing at McLennan, talking to them about their days there. But I guess that would be the only sentimental value. It's all about, now, about playing now and playing well and getting in the lineup. I mean, yeah, I don't think it puts them a step ahead of anybody.
Thanks so much for indulging my blast from the past. Thanks, Coach.
Problem. Good memories.
Last one's here, Mason.
Yeah, Coach, I just wanted to ask you, the way that Hunter Holland performed for y'all last year, just his first year with you, how much confidence does that give you in a guy like Mason Molina coming in and doing something similar?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to be confident with guys that have shown it before. The junior college, it's a different level. You are facing some good hitters. It's usually not maybe eight in the lineup that you're facing, maybe even 9, and always 7 good hitters, especially in league play that you got to get through. In junior college, it may be maybe 3, 4, 5 guys that they're going to fight you a little bit. But if you get pitch like you're going to get them out. So it's a different jump as far as going through lineups at this level. But when you get a Division I transfer, especially a guy that's been pitched at a high level like Mason has, and then he goes out and shows us in the fall, and he shows our hitters in the fall that he's hard to hit. I have a lot of confidence in Mason.
All right, Bob, our starter, our closer.
Hey, Dave. The big lefty from St. Louis. I guess Hockman. How's he doing? He had Tommy John, right? Hackman. I'm sorry.
He didn't have Tommy John. He had a little short of that. I forget what they call it right now, but it's not quite so invasive. Recover quicker. But he should be healthy enough to throw sometime during the spring as far as live real game, but he's not ready to throw in scrimmages. I mean, Adam's working hard. He got a big arm, so our hope was that he would get on the mound before this season's over. When he'll have to show us that he's ready, with how he feels, how he's throwing the baseball, and hopefully he'll do that. But he's feeling good. He just got to keep building up.
And then you're able to keep your staff intact. That's not always easy when you have success. A lot of times teams poach your staff, and I know you probably have to fight off probably SEC teams. Maybe just how good is that you're going back in? The staff's been together for a while.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to keep our staff together. I think we all know each other. We all know how we act in the game and handle the game. And, when you have new staff, you have to meet all the time and go over everything. When you have guys you trust and that they know what you expect, you don't have to do that as much. And I think they appreciate that, so they can spend their time with doing what they like to do, and that's coach pitching and hitting and other things. But there were there's teams coming after our coaches, professional teams and other college teams, other Division I teams, other teams in the league. It's a yearly thing. It's a good problem to have, and I think that the players see that we have a lot of camaraderie amongst the coaches. We all get along. We all respect each other. There's not a lot of ego going on with our staff. It's all about let's win what's in front of us today, and let's try to get to the big dance at the end of the year and do some damage.
Yeah, I think I'm good. You going to the basketball game Saturday?
I'm not sure yet. Why, you want to sit with me?
You have better seat than I do, I'm sure.
I don't, but I don't think so.
Maybe
Now,
you can
I get some good seats, but they're not mine.
Oh,
So I have
okay.
to make a call, or, I have to work on it a little bit.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.